Orange marbles with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty whoa! The O-Rangers! With their faithful fans, the daring and competitive rollers of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find greater champions of justice. Return with us now to this thrilling arena of sporting history. From out of all corners of the globe come the fierce determination of the best marble athletes. The O-Rangers host the Marble League. Welcome everyone to Main Street, where it's high noon and time for the start of the 10th Marble League. I'm Greg Woods. Always a thrill to watch the opening ceremonies before the thick of competition begins in this glorious stadium of orange. And we have our test runners giving us a first look at this opening event, the Swing Wave. 4 teams, we'll get to know them pretty well. The Huckleberries tie with the Flaming Cherries for the overall best score, and then you look at the individual scoring marbles to figure out which one breaks the tie. Getting us started here in the opening round. Oh, look at that big gaggle in trough number 5. A lot of orange and yellow settled in there. But the goal, of course, is to get farthest down without going into that catch basin. Within the intra-team battles, finish in the top 2 and you will advance from the heat, and that's exactly what the Midnight Wisps and the O-Rangers do. 34-33, close with Mellow Yellow back in 32, and then a sizable gap from there. Oceanics, Cobalts, Balls of Chaos, and Team Momo. And look at how many marbles made it down into the 9. Oh, and we had a marble leave the track. Balls of Chaos have gone over the side. In addition, they get 3 zeros, one of those being the marble that left, 2 of them in the catch basin down at the end. It's Oceanics and Momo that move on from the heat. But we have not seen that level of chaos in the Swing Wave before. That in and of itself is remarkable. Several marbles left very early here. Yes, 3 of them stranded down in the 2. 3 more in the 4. Quite a number made it into 8. We have not seen a solid run yet from all of our competitors, with nearly all of them making it down into 8, 9, or 10. We wait for the official tabulation. Green Ducks with a 41. That is a stout score over the Bumblebees. Raspberry Racers and the Snowballs, they go no further. Speeders, Limers, Pinkies, and Blackjacks now. Savage Speeders have lost 1, 2, farther back. And we get 3 in the 10. Look at that, how many, is that 6 marbles in the 9 trough? Mind you, this is only the heats. You have to make it from here. And 41 apiece. Blackjacks and Pinkies, they tie. Every individual marble was exactly the same. That is pretty amazing. And just like that, 9th through 16th is set. 13th on down, they had at least 1 0. Balls of Chaos, they don't want to talk about it. But it means that our hosts are in the top 8 and will be fighting for the medal as we continue along. Green Ducks, Momo, Blackjacks, and Midnight Wisps in the gate in semifinal 1. Oh, 1 marble was lost very early. Nobody made it into the catch basin. That is a 2 for Momo. And in this sport, you can see so many collisions happen. It's how you manage that. It's how you get your elbows out and make your way down the course, reacting to everybody else. The Wisps and the Ducks have done it. Blackjacks come 2 points short, and that's placing 2 marbles in the 9 trough. It may take some 10s to win this overall. O-Rangers, Oceanics, Pinkies, and the Bumblebees. Oh, Bumblebees drop 1 in the basin. And we've got several marbles that didn't even make it to 5. O-Rangers had 1 stranded in 3, but they still managed to win the heat and move on to the final. 36-35 over the Oceanics, who themselves had a marble back in the 2. Every team, by the way, got a 10 there. Talk about upping your game the farther we go into the competition. Blackjacks, they get 5th. Pinkies, Momo, and the Bumblebees will round out in 8th place. But now, ready to crown our first gold medalists of these games. This is the final. Wisps, O'Rangers, Green Ducks, and the Oceanics. Down they come. Green Ducks have lost one early. They've got 2 with a great head of steam. One of them goes too far in the 10. 4 marbles in the 9, 4 in the 8, 4 in the 5 as well. How is the math going to shake out on this one? The Oceanics have won the gold in the first event of the Marble League. 2 8s, 2 9s. They survived a 5, 39-35 over the Midnight Wisps, and our hosts, the O'Rangers, get the bronze. There you see the overall order. Highest scores, 41. Lowest, just 9. Congratulations to our podium finishers. The 4-team swing wave sees the first hardware handed out. Oceanics get the gold. Also want to give a few shout-outs before we head off here. Honorly honor to Siri Stone, who says, "Go Speeders." Also, shout-out to Marcus Brewer for sponsoring our hosts and bronze medalists, the O'Rangers. And also, shout-out to Grime Lime. Well, the first event in the books. It'll be sundown tonight. Get the campfire going and prepare for round number 2. Everybody's chasing the Oceanics as we head toward the funnels. Here in Event 2 of the 2025 Marble League, it's the Funnel Endurance. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Oceanics got the win, Midnight Wisps the silver, and our hosts got a bronze in the very first event. This event, by the way, sponsored by Caleb Geels. Please join our Patreon to support us by sponsoring upcoming events. How about we get ready to award some medals? Off we go in heat number 1. Same idea. Stay in the funnels the longest. Top 4 out of each heat will advance. In this one, we've got the Wisps, Pinkies, Green Ducks, Oceanics, O'Rangers, Blackjacks, Cobalts, and Limers. It's the Oceanics up there in first right now. O'Rangers hold second place. That's their captain, Kinoan. 3 captains in the field here. The Limers using Sublime and Heart for the Blackjacks. But Blackjacks are mired down in the order. Staying up top. It has swung back. Oh, and now dropping through the funnels very quickly. As I say that, O'Rangers are having trouble. They've dropped through 2 very quickly. Limers are in danger of going fourth here, and they do so after a collision helps to send them toward that drop. Pinkies, Green Ducks in quick succession as well. Midnight Wisps evade their reserve, new for the season. Cobalts will advance. O'Rangers will as well. They look to be coming in third here. Yes, they do. Heart from the Blackjacks up next, and with a full funnel lead, Ounce from the Oceanics will cruise to Heat 1 win. 136.59, that is stout. here in heat number 2. Shout out to another one of our team sponsors, Ramirez, if I'm saying that correctly, for the snowballs. Spinning around in this one, the snowballs went immediately to last. They are already in funnel number 3. Savage Speeder's doing a good job up there, circulating with Resi, and it's the latter who takes over the lead. Savage Speeders in second place right now, but they are in a bunch of marbles that drop through into that third funnel. Already some down toward the bottom. This is not looking great for, wow, we've got 4 marbles down there. Who drops through first? Oh, Team Momo went into that funnel second, but exited first. Now they are in danger of going first through the drop. That will be their fate. 8th for Team Momo. Bumblebee's Stinger coming through next. Snowballs positioned toward the middle. They come through. Balls of Chaos is the final eliminated team, and now it's all advancers from here. Raspberry Racers, Team Galactic. Astron comes through in front of the reserve for the Speeders, Wizzy, and it's another reserve for Mellow Yellow. Yeller will not hit that 136 mark that we saw in heat number 1, but will do enough to advance in heat 2. Disappointing for Momo. Just 53 seconds. So ready for the elimination bracket. These teams cannot get on the podium today, but they can still get a decent points haul. Momo, Ducks, Balls of Chaos, Bumblebees, Wisps, Limers, Pinkies, and Snowballs. Off we go. And good positioning by the Limers, Sublime, to get into that funnel last, but somehow moved right through everybody and drops through first. Not what you want. Another quick exit out of funnel number 2. The 2 light-colored teams up there with one of the dark-colored teams. Those are the Pinkies and the Snowballs. And we wait for it to circulate here. Working down through, a lot of marbles caught up in those middle funnels right now. We look toward the bottom. Team Momo is still in a world of hurt. Balls of Chaos are right there with them. Momo clear in the last funnel, not where they need to be. Pinkies are already done. I don't know how they sneaked on through. Momo gets 7th. It'll be Balls of Chaos, Disarray in 6th. Bumblebees, they had a good lead there for a while. Midnight Wisps come through next. Limers will drop in 3rd. Circling is Snowfall, leaving it to Ducky from the Green Ducks to place 9th in the overall standings. And we call it the losers round. I try not to say that. Green Ducks win in the relegation bracket, 125.99, 4.71 ahead of the Snowballs. Ready for the final. Down we come. Early positioning here. Who will take full advantage? Well, I'll tell you, it's not going to be the Blackjacks in the first funnel. They drop through first of all. Raspberry Racers are looking good up there, along with the Oceanics. Winners of event number 1. Could we see them get another medal here? They hold the lead, but good positioning by the Raspberry Racers, trying to move to the outside. Now they change their cadence, and it doesn't work. Raspberry Racers fell victim to their own ploy and give the Oceanics back the lead. It does disrupt them enough in this next funnel, and now O'Rangers move up into second place. They try to rub on the Oceanics just a bit. It doesn't work. Oceanics still holding the lead. Looking farther down here. Hart from the Blackjacks is in that final funnel. Cobalts are down there as well. Blackjacks will drop through first. Raspberry Racers have lost out on what was second place. And they now finish second to last, 7th. Gnome from the Cobalt. Savage Speeders come through next, fighting for medals now. Rangers were last into the final funnel. Mellow Yellow. Then it's Team Galactic with the bronze. Rangers get the silver, and the Oceanics have done it again. A frenetic final funnel sees Ounce from the Oceanics, in a time of 1:23.85, capture the second straight gold medal, this time in the funnel endurance. Amazing. It is not over until it's over. Rangers did a great job to work their way up through the order. As the event went along with each ensuing funnel, they climbed and climbed, stayed in longer. But how about this for some parity? In 2019, the Savage Speeders won the first 2 golds of the season. 3 years later, Team Galactic won the first 2 golds. That was in 2022. And now, 3 years after that, the Oceanics have done it as well. 2 golds in 2 events to start these games, but our hosts also 2 medals in the first 2 events. When's the last time a host did that? Our standings. Of course, the Oceanics leading the way, but Rangers now up into second over the Midnight Wisps, Green Ducks, and the Blackjacks hanging in the top 5. Coming up next, the hurdles. Until then, happy trails. Three events into the 2025 Marble League, and we're all getting settled into this Western lifestyle. Loving the pace of play, although, what was that thing you're not supposed to do with your spurs on? Ouch, I did that. Shout out to our episode sponsor, Constance. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Taking a look, after 2 events and 2 Oceanic victories, they lead the way, predictably, over the O'Rangers.
Dear Marbles, welcome back to the Marble League, hosted by the O'Rangers. Our third event today is the 5-meter hurdles.
These hurdles, always trickier than they appear. The goal to traverse them without getting tripped up, but you also don't want to leap too high up in the air. Huckleberries, grape shots, flaming cherries, and the majestic melons here, and it's the melons down in the bottom lane stretching that lead. And over the line they will come to set a first time for us on this new ramp. Now yes, you hear the horns. That is a new record by some margin, and that is because the ramp angle has been changed for this year. So keep that in mind. We should see several new records set over the course of this one. O'Rangers lead. Raspberry Racers, they come back through the final couple of hurdles. It will be the Raspberry Racers holding the way, and shout out to Roxanne for the Raspberry Racers while we're at it. A 1-length victory for Ruzzy. 7-5-1-4. Top 2 advance out of each heat. Momo, Mellow Yellow, Bumblebees, and the Pinkies. Momo quickest out of the gate. Mellow Yellow, now they have a commanding lead. Into second place go the Bumblebees. They will transfer. And one of the things you need to look for when they go over these hurdles is what kind of air are they pulling? Ideally, you want to stay low to the hurdle because any vertical movement is taking away from your downward movement. So stay low, stay tight, and stay fast. Snowballs, Savage Speeders, Cobalts, and Midnight Wisps. Snowballs, they are fastest out of the gate, but once again they lose out. Midnight Wisps, proving again it's not how you start in these hurdles. Some marbles have told me there is an optimum speed to hit that first hurdle, and it's very tempting to go out too fast. And as soon as you get out of rhythm going down these hurdles, it is tough to claw it back. Blackjacks, Green Ducks, Team Galactic, and Balls of Chaos. Down we go. It's very tight through the first 2 hurdles, and now it stretches out. Not tight at all. Team Galactic. That was a cakewalk. huge gap. And cue the horns. 6-8-1-2. That is a new Marble League record in this new format. Teams had been consulted prior to the change of angle. They all agreed, in the interest of competition, that would be a better and actually safer way to do it. And Starry has reached out and grabbed that Marble League record, 6-8-1-2, advancing along with Mallard from the Green Ducks. You saw the bottom of the order. They are locked in, and now we move to semifinal 1. Raspberry Racers, Bumblebees, Midnight Wisps, and the Green Ducks. Raspberry Racers, quick. Here come Midnight Wisps. Now Racers respond. Too late, but Midnight Wisps get the win. Raspberry Racers do transfer. Mallard from the Green Ducks, just a few hundredths behind. It was a 2/10 of a second win for Eve from the Midnight Wisps. Rangers, Mellow Yellow, Snowballs, and Team Galactic. Here in semifinal B, Team Galactic absolutely blitzed the field last time. Are they going to do it again? No! Was that strategy, knowing they were going to advance, giving that win to Snowy from the Snowballs? 6-9-8-0, that is a stout time, no doubt. But compare that to 6-8-1-2 that we know Starry is capable of. Is that Marble saving it for the final?
It is time for the finals. We have Midnight Wisps, Team Galactic, Raspberry Racers, and the Snowballs. Best of luck to all athletes.
There will be no three-peat of gold for the Oceanics. One captain, one reserve in the field. Off they go. Wisps and Snowballs are quick. Galactic trying to get into second place, but losing out. Midnight Wisps on the top lane. They're going to hold it and win gold. Eve comes across. 400ths the difference over Snowy from the Snowballs. Starry from Team Galactic maybe used too much energy in the opening heats. Still collects the bronze. Raspberry Racers just miss out in 4th. Mellow Yellow and Green Ducks are hosts in 7th.
Congratulations to the winners of the 5-meter hurdles. In 3rd place, we have Team Galactic. In 2nd, the Snowballs. And our winners are the Midnight Wisps. Well done, and we will be seeing you all again at our next event, Rodeo.
Shout out to Seeker's Hangar for the Indigo Stars, by the way. Midnight Wisps get the gold medal, break the string of Oceanics wins. Finishing very strong. 7-2-6-4 was not the fastest time. It wasn't a Marble League record, but it was what needed to be done to win in the final. Well, knowing where the Oceanics finished, getting eliminated all the way back in Heat A with a time of 7-7-4-8. That was Nerid, by the way. What will this do to the championship order through 3 standings? They survive. They still lead to the Oceanics, but only by 4. The Wisps are now up in 2nd. Rangers, the hosts, in 3rd. Galactic up 2. How about Snowballs jumping 8 up to 7th? Grab your stirrups. Rodeo next. It's something so intrinsic to the West. Rodeo. But here in the Marble League, it marks a new event. And as a result, we have no idea what to expect. This event, by the way, sponsored by Jeremy Hill. The Oceanics still hold the top spot, but Midnight Wisps are tracking them down. Shout out to our team owner patrons as well. Thank you for helping us put on this wonderful Marble League. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods, back from a trip to the Chuck Wagon.
Welcome back, all marbles, to Marble League 2025, hosted by the O-Rangers. Our 4th event is Rodeo.
There is the bull in the chute. And shout out to our honorary team sponsor, Series Stone. As we load the marbles in, the goal is to stay in the longest. The Majestic Melons will show us how it's done. The times are cumulative, so every time a marble leaves, the clock stops for them, but it keeps going for the other 3, now the other 2. And you can see that bull purposely lining up for the walls, figuring out the ways to buck those marbles off. And we look at the times. You can see him hopping up in the air. If you do hop and land in a different seat, that's okay. So you can see, first one went off at 3:25, 5:54, and so on. As we get a look at the O-Rangers showing us how it's done. They give the cowboy nod, and off we go, and they lose one early. Persistent bumping against that wall, lost the second one. A short bump for the third. And, oh, this bull's now a headhunter, rocking around trying to find those other marbles. But a great hang on for member number 4 there, as it's shown here, M1. 11:21 for the seconds, and a 21:18 is the best cumulative time. Team Momo coming up now. Off they go. They stayed pretty close on that one. The bull builds up some speed before that second hit. Now 3 marbles off. Fourth one right at the front and lost out. You have to wonder if some of the marbles can manage to stay on the back seats, if that gives them another couple of hits before they're cycled to the front. 28-20 goes up to first. Snowballs. In the gate, off. One gone, one tried to hang on. Trying to keep a hold of the stirrup as long as you possibly can, and oh, he leaves the arena. Doesn't have far to go, however. Still a bit of a shock. This whole event really is a shock. How many times do marbles ride bulls of any sort? 27-15 is the second best that we've seen. How many times also in Marble League history have we ever had a rough stock event? Hard hits here. And it's very formulaic for this bull. Swinging him around hard into the wall. And the clock stops. That last marble did get almost a full rotation. 2 hits, and then finally, blackjack number 4 is removed. And it's an 18-3-2. Oof, nearly 10 seconds off. Oceanics, shout out to our team sponsor, Hyper Hero 2 for the Oceanics. Oh, and the Oceanics lose 2 at a time on 2 separate occasions. And that was an abysmal run for the Marble League Championship leaders. 15-9-3 over 12 seconds off, and they go into last. Now, was that bull particularly rowdy? Pickup marbles have their work cut out for them, trying to wrangle some of these bulls back into the pens. Green Ducks now, they have a bull that's got a good, interesting strategy. They had a marble that moved around and ended up in the back seat, and instead the bull rotated around and said, I'm going to go in backwards. Green Ducks come in 4th out of 6 so far. Ducks still happy with that one. Savage Speeders coming up now. They're excited for this event. Wondering how fast they can get this bull to go, but I'm not sure that that is the best strategy, but hey, it's working for them. Maybe it is a good strategy. They've got multiple rotations going before the final hit throws out the last 2 members. And the Savage Speeders, who are down in 10th in the overall standings in the Marble League thus far, they got this bull to pick up some speed and avoid the walls, and it worked. 31-5-2 puts the Speeders in first. Now, was that bull a little thrown off by their strategy? Or was that one not the strongest bull in the pen? 3 mellow yellows are gone, and the last one goes shortly thereafter. Nobody gets past 9 seconds on this ride. And look at the solid impact. Lifted every member out of their seats. They went airborne in between.
Well done to our current leaders, Savage Speeders, with a score of 31.52.
Well, we've seen some jumpers and kickers so far from these bowls, and it's building an interesting legacy for this event. And by the way, if you want to build and have your own competitions, check out our marble set. You can see it being built and what all goes into it. So many different options for how you can play it. We hope you'll check it out. Hopefully nobody ends up there. You can go to the headquarters, maybe not the jail. Team Galactic coming up now in run number 9. Their bowl is off. They give the nod. First impact, everybody survived. Now they've got some rotation going where it's a glance against the wall. 2 marbles still in there. Oh, and then they get sent sideways. It was a broadside into the wall. One of the marbles sent all the way out of the arena. And in this form of rodeo, no fouls for the bowl hitting the wall. They're just under 4 seconds back. It puts them in third. Yeah, 2 members almost went over the wall. As the Limers, they need some points. They're down in 15th of 16 teams. Watching everybody go in front of them, is that going to work? They've managed to make the bull turn in a tighter angle. That keeps them on for longer. But I don't think they made it past 9 seconds or 10 for any individual marble. Look at the bull getting hung up there, and that actually will help. 5th. Solid result. Middle of the pack right now for the Limers. Cobalts. They dropped 4 spots after the last event. Still yet to medal. They've lost 2 on that second impact. They get the bull hung up, and then it slides around with a tail whip to throw off that final Cobalt. '11th, go the Cobalts. 14-5-8. Bumblebees with a shout out to their sponsor, the Moster Cousins. They've lost 2 marbles, 3. The bull gets hung up. Time is ticking. Can they hold on? No. Nearly 20 seconds off. 11-7-7 is dead last among our runners, and we're 3/4 of the way through. Speaking of dead last, Balls of Chaos are in 16th in the standings. They've got just 4 points. They're the only team left still in single digits. They've got a marble holding on here who gets bucked right off, shy of the 8-second mark. And Balls of Chaos don't go last. 16-6-9 off of the leader. 14-8-3 puts them in 11th of 13. Raspberry Racers. Off they go. They've lost 1, but they're holding on, all 3 of them now. They've got the bull right in the middle, swinging him around. They're guiding the bull toward the middle there, and finally gets him sent off, but that ended up being a bit of a money horse for them, because that should put them high up the order. It does. They're in first. 3 marbles past 10 seconds. Wow. With 2 teams left, they are guaranteed a medal. Now the Raspberry Racers, Pinkies, can get up there, and they're trying to do the same thing. They're getting that bull more toward the middle. They've got 1 left. There, finally, they've got it done. Swinging around past 11 seconds. 12, 13. That's going to help them climb the order. Pinkies, another team that needs it. They're in 14th overall. And they go third into bronze medal. And Raspberry Racers can finish no worse than silver. Midnight Wisps, the team that is slowly working their way up the standings. What can they do here? Can they claim another medal? They've lost 1, but now they're doing the same thing. They've got the bull angled toward the middle. They've lost the back marble, and finally tumbled off. I'm not sure that's going to be enough for the gold. How close will it put them toward the top of the order? It's silver. Midnight Wisps, on the final run of the event, take 2nd place But it's the Raspberry Racers that tamed the bull and walk away with gold. Savage Speeders with the bronze, just 3.26 seconds,
well done to our medal winners.
Separating the top three.
The bronze goes to the Savage Speeders, the silver goes to the Midnight Wisps, and the gold goes to the Raspberry Racers. Congratulations to these teams, and we will see you all at the next event, the 5-meter sprints.
First time we've contested Rodeo here in the Marble League, and that by default means that the Raspberry Racers are our new record holders. Racers coming from 9th in the standings, yet to medal prior to this event. Let's see how high up they climb here. Well, the Rodeo gave us twists and turns, bucking around and throwing marbles through the air. It was chaotic, it was quirky, but it worked. Midnight Wisps take over the top of the standings from the Oceanics. O'Rangers still holding in third. Raspberry Racers up 5 to 4th. When I saw what time it is today, I had to sprint back from the lower 40 to get into the stadium to get ready for our next event. But that's nothing compared to what these marbles are going to do in the 5-meter sprint, appropriately the 5th event of the 2025 Marble League. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Beautiful stadium, interesting scenarios setting up for our championship standings as the Midnight Wisps lead the way over the Oceanics and the O'Rangers.
2025, hosted by the O'Rangers. The 5th event is the 5-meter sprint.
Well, here we are. Oh no. Guard yourselves. Get ready. Give extra separation if you need. No, we don't do that here in the Marble League. Oh, that's adorable. Well, welcome to the big show. The 5-meter sprint where we're handing out medals at the end of this one. Ready in the first run. O'Rangers for the hosts try to hold on. They won't. They'll fade to third. And instead, it goes to Bumble of the Bumblebees. The captain beats Clutter. By 17 thousandths of a second, those two will advance. Tarako and Rapidly, they're done. In that one, look at it. 5/100ths the difference. From first to last, Momo, Ducks, Limers, and Wisps. Momo in the top lane. Middle lane there. Surging through is Mallard from the Green Ducks. That was oh so close. I thought Midnight Wisps had a chance at the 1/3 mark. The field separated by a 10th. It's Mallard and Amaya moving through. Snowballs, Oceanics, Team Galactic, and the Pinkies. Snowballs quick out of the gate. Pinkies down in the bottom lane are trying to build. Oceanics are right there. They will hold on to second place. Snowballs get the win. Pinky Panther comes up just short. And Starry from Team Galactic a few rolls behind. Two captains advancing out of heat number 3. This event goes quickly. Blackjacks, Mellow Yellow, Cobalts, and Raspberry Racers. Two captains in the field. Very even. Among our top 3 at least. Mellow Yellow was off the back. And it will be Razzie, but who got second? Very close. Cobalts. Nicely done. Razzie over Cerulean in that one. Ace and Yellow do not advance, and you see where they slot in. From 9th to 16th, Pinkies just missing out on the top 8. Bumblebees, Midnight Wisps, Snowballs, and the Cobalts. Bumblebees, Cobalts, no, now in the middle. That's going to be a dead heat. We're going to have to wait for the photo finish on that one. Oh my goodness, that's close. By 1,000th of a second, the Snowballs beat the Bumblebees in semifinal 1. They both move on. Cerulean and Amaya do not. They are done. Green Ducks, Balls of Chaos, Raspberry Racers, and the Oceanics. Green Ducks, Oceanics on the bottom lane. They take over. Second place is won by Razzie from the Raspberry Racers. Mallard, who held second place for so long, was beaten at the last. 3 captains in the field. 2 of the 3 move on. That's Oceanics and Raspberry Racers, but that was a great run by the Green Ducks. Mallard goes up into 5th and collects some points. 18 thousandths ahead of Cobalts. Ready to hand out the hardware. Raspberry Racers, Snowballs, Oceanics, and the Bumblebees. Raspberry Racers up top. Oceanics coming up into second place. Can they make a charge? No! Raspberry Racers will hold on. The 14th seed gets the win by 35 thousandths of a second. An all-captain final goes to the Racers. Oceanics get silver, and Snowballs get the bronze. Shout out to team owners, Mackles and Slick Zone. Raspberry Racers held on beautifully throughout that one. Great runs. They didn't win every single heat. They were second in the semifinals, but they did enough. For a team that is 4th in the standings, they already have 1 gold medal. They've just added another. Oceanics get their first silver of these games. And the Snowballs, who were in 6th, they only had a silver coming into this one. They now add a bronze. Rangers, 3rd in the standings, but not in this event. What will that do to them? It'll drop them. Rangers have dropped 1. Raspberry Racers move into the podium position. Wisps and Oceanics still holding on up top. Next event, the 5-meter relay. Moseying our way through the Marble League 2025 gets us to this point, the relay race. Across 5 meters, 4 marbles having to work together to achieve a common goal, and that is going fastest of all. To do it first, they will have to advance out of their heats, and the top 2 will be doing that. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods, fresh off my poker game where I got cleaned out by several of these teams. Who knew that aces and eights is not a good hand?
Greetings to everyone at Marble League 2025, hosted by the O-Rangers. We're about to begin our 6th event, the 5-meter relay.
Well, there is the current lineup for the standings. The Wisps and the Oceanics still atop. Raspberry Racers moved up into that 3rd position. Snowballs also trending well along with the Blackjacks. Ready for heat number 1. O-Rangers, Green Ducks, Cobalts, and the Pinkies. Shout out to Brian Biggs, by the way, for the Pinkies. O-Rangers quickest out of the gate, and here come the Green Ducks in the middle. It's a great last couple of handoffs, but look at the anchor leg for the Cobalts. Meepo brought it home and won it by half a length over the Green Ducks. Each of the top 2 do advance. Mallard, the captain, 6 thousandths behind. O-Rangers and Pinkies do not advance. Shout out to Diana Vietti as we get ready in this one. Momo, Speeders, Galactic, and Racers. Speeders up on the top lane. They've won this event multiple times over the years. And they look to try to do it again. 5 times they have won the gold in the 5-meter relay. And in doing it, set a new Marble League record. Hipping the Limers there by a good 3/10 of a second.
Savage Speeders for setting a new record of 6:908.
Looking pretty strong on that one. Snowballs, Mellow Yellow, Limers, and Balls of Chaos. Snowballs in the top lane. Here's Mellow Yellow resurgent after the first couple of handoffs. Will it hold? No! Snowballs run to the line and win it. Once again, the anchor proving the difference. And another team that used their captain for that final handoff. It was Snowy bringing it across the line in front of the captain of Mellow Yellow. Yellow also advances. Blackjacks, Oceanics, Bumblebees, and the Midnight Wisps. Midnight Wisps looking good on that first handoff. It's all Bumblebees. Now it's evened up. Bumblebees try to fight through and do. They will move on along with the Oceanics. Blackjacks and Midnight Wisps ran a pretty good run. Wisps trailed off toward the end there. Fairly even, at least among the top three. So by times, there is 9th through 16th. 7-4 down to 7-7. That leaves 8. 2 semifinals await. By the way, partway through this event, if you aren't decked out in merch yet, cheering your team on, there's still time. Check it out on yellowsmarbleruns.com. You can also get behind-the-scenes content. Check us out on Patreon. And check us out for the semifinal. Cobalt, Snowballs, Momo, and the Oceanics. Momo with the lead. It's growing. Now it's a challenge to the line. They will advance along with the Cobalts. Momo gets it in a time of 7:2:04, 6 milliseconds ahead of the Cobalts. Just a 10th separating the top three. Snowballs and Oceanics come just short. Green Ducks, Bumblebees, Mellow Yellow, and the Savage Speeders in semifinal 2. Green Ducks lost out big. Speeders, here they come. They will not win it. That will go to Mellow Yellow, but they will make it to the final once again. Savage Speeders always seem to be inevitable in this event. 34 thousandths between them. They won this in 16, 17, 20, 21, and 22. 5th through 8th are set. So who do you have for the gold in the 5-meter relay? Mellow Yellow, Cobalts, Savage Speeders, and Team Momo. Mellow Yellow quick on the top lane. Momo trying to move up into second place. Not there yet. Speeders are well behind. Mellow Yellow will go wire to wire and win gold in 5-meter relay. Once again, Captain Yellow doing work on the anchor leg. Almost 7 seconds flat, and that's a 2/10 victory over the Cobalts in silver, and Team Momo get the bronze.
Congratulations.
Also shout out to the Fussmans, Memphis Blue, just married.
In second, the Cobalts, and in first place, Mellow Yellow. A fantastic showing for all teams.
It really was. Mellow Yellow looking very strong when they needed it. Speeders might have expended too much too early. How about the Cobalts? That is their first main Marble League medal since 2016. Who's counting, but that was exactly 3,250 days ago. Well, there you have it. 25 points to Mellow Yellow and a gold medal. Silver to the Cobalts, bronze for Momo. The Speeders, multiple champions in this event, come just short of making the podium in 4th. What does this do to our overall standings? Shake it up a bit. Oceanics now lead by 7 over the Wisps. Raspberry Racers still holding in 3rd. Look at Mellow Yellow jumping 5 spots. Cobalt's up 4 as well. Blackjacks and Pinkies trending downward. For the first time, we venture outside of the stadium for the triathlon. It was a long trek out here. We actually did it late last night. I had to stick a lantern on the saddle to get out here. It worked. I mean, we made it. That was the first time in a long time that I'd used satellite navigation. Hey, everybody. I'm Greg Woods. Taking a look at our variable course. Sand, track, water, And the Oceanics are leading the way so far. 87-80 over the Midnight Wisps. Raspberry Racers in third. Mellow Yellow trending nicely.
The seventh event is the Triathlon.
And so we have 8 marbles, 1 per team, going down this course in 3 different parts. Looking right there at the track portion before diving into the water. The runners for Heat 1, 4 reserves in the field, along with 1 captain. That's Wispy from the Midnight Wisps. Down we come. We start on the sand, and it was Chiraco leading into that first turn, but the Oceanics snagged P1 just briefly. Everybody bumping up against that wall. Chiraco's lead is building. Oceanics, Midnight Wisps, also dueling for the lead, and coming out of nowhere, that's Balls of Chaos up into second place. Everybody getting that fine coating of sand. It's going to be washed away. Now onto the track. Get a little more friction with that sand through here. Oceanics running a good race. Into the water they go, down toward the finish line. Oh, look at how close this is going to be. Nearly 4 wide. Midnight Wisps chasing Balls of Chaos. Mellow Yellow will get across the line before the Wisps, and O-Rangers are the last transfer position. That race changed complexion immensely once we dove into the water. Snarl for Balls of Chaos. Look at on the top lane there, but the real battle was in between Mellow Yellow and Midnight Wisps. Just a few hundredths between them. Oceanics close behind the O-Rangers for that final transfer spot, but they will go no further. Heat number 2. This time 3 captains, 2 reserves. We drop on down, and it's Savage Speeders off to a fast clip through those early turns. Contact there. Team Galactic goes back farther in second place, back toward the Green Ducks captain Mallard. Now it is Mallard up into second place, chasing rapidly from the Savage Speeders as they head on to the track portion. Round through that chicane go the Green Ducks. They are into first. Top 4 will advance, diving into the water. Who gets the better run down toward the line? They all condense down to the bottom lane among those top 3. That does leave the door open up top for Team Momo. Speeders do get the win. Bumblebees roll ahead and block off the Green Ducks. Those are your 4 transfers. Quasar, the reserve for Team Galactic, just misses out by 0.08 of a second. And we had a DNF, the Pinkies. They did not make it down to the course. Oh, they never even made it to the track, just on the sand.
Finalists are Balls of Chaos, Bumblebees, Green Ducks, Mellow Yellow, Midnight Wisps, O-Rangers, Savage Speeders.
Speeders were
Team
disappointed
Momo.
not to take gold in the previous event. Those 5-meter events normally go pretty well. Shout out to the Shining Swarm team owner, Conti New. Also shout out to the Skyway Chase set. Look at how tall that thing is. You want to see some marbles get scared of heights before diving down? See how they react, and more importantly, see who wins. Check it out. On to the consolation round. Blackjacks, Pinkies, Limers, Cobalts, Galactic, Oceanics, Snowballs, and the Raspberry Racers, and several were shot from a cannon as they headed down onto the sand for the first time. Snowballs lead with Snowstorm. Limers go up into second. Briefly, contact sends them backward. That opens the door for the Pinkies' Captain Pinky Toe to get by. Limers are falling backward. Oceanics right there, weaving back and forth in a nice duel with the Cobalts. Up front, move aside, we've got a new leader, but as we've seen, diving into the water changes everything. Especially if you manage to catch a draft. We wait for the white balance to adjust over the line. Blackjacks get it in front of Pinkies and the Snowballs. Then a bit of a gap back to the Limers in front of Raspberry Racers and Team Galactic. Door wasn't even open on that overtake for the Blackjacks, but Diamond decided they would open it themselves. 16th goes to the Oceanics, as we are now ready for the final. 3 captains, 3 reserves. Who are the favorites? And is your team one of them? Off to award our next gold medal. And it's Mellow Yellow who get off to a fine start but they're losing speed, bumping up against the wall, going around the outside. Savage Speeders, they take the lead. Watching back there with the Midnight Wisps, they are in a duel with Balls of Chaos now, catching the draft. Sand portion really opens up speed-wise before they get onto the track. Mellow Yellow taking a peek over the shoulder. Savage Speeders are right there with them. A couple of lengths apart as they come down into the water. In the rundown for the gold, it's Mellow Yellow all against the top wall, and they'll finish nose astern. Mellow Yellow, Savage Speeders, and the Midnight Wisps. Once they went into the water, they were locked together. Nobody could make the move because they realized the draft is the best way to pick up speed. But Mellow Yellow's Yeller was just too fast. Shout out to Logan Varnell, the Rangers' biggest fan. Message says, we're proud of you, dude.
The medal winners. The bronze goes to Midnight Wisps. The silver
Mellow
to the
Yellow
Savage
gets the
Speeders,
gold
and the gold goes
and
to
stands
Mellow
atop
Yellow.
the podium
Congratulations
next to Savage
to these
Speeders
teams.
and the Midnight
See you at the
Wisps.
next event.
We said Mellow Yellow was trending well. They jumped up 5 spots after the last event into 5th place. Speeders were down in 9th. Where will they go from here? As we give a shout out to Crazy Cat's Eyes, Board Games, Bricks Hobbies, team owners for the Cats. In the Triathlon, which is meant to give you a well-rounded marble, not literally, of course, we see Mellow Yellow stand atop, but it's Midnight Wisps in the overall standings, and Mellow Yellow have now maneuvered into the podium position in 3rd. Speeders are up 3, Momo up 3 as well. Snowball's down 3. Coming up next, it's Bocce. What do you do when you're surrounded by sand? You make use of it. You play sports on it. In this case, you make it a part of Marble League competition. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. This is Bocce, for the first time ever in the Marble League. And we are thrilled to have you here watching how this will pan out. Well, we've got a good championship battle heating up as we reach the round before the halfway point of these games. Midnight Wisps lead, but only by 8 over the Oceanics. Mellow Yellow 1 point back from there. So here's how this is going to work. Teams will be chasing the Polino, as they do in Bocce, trying to get as many of their marbles as close to it as they possibly can. So here is the steel Polino that we will be using. The Majestic Melons and the Huckleberries will take to the sand, the packed sand in this demonstration run. Down come the Melons, so they've seen where they go, and they bonk right against it and bounce off. Now you'll see those distances being updated in real time. All of the marbles have a tracker that measures the distance between them and that Polino, that target marble, so we can see exactly how close they are. So in that case, you see the Huckleberries displaced one of the Melons. The Melons' closest distance went up, and the Huckleberries went down. Same thing there, bumping the Huckleberries even closer to the Polino. So right now, Huckleberries are in the lead, having the nearest marble, and now it's almost touching. Surely that is touching. They'll have to check and see. Oh, it bumps again. And it continues over the course of this demo run. That line of marbles stacking up behind. And I think that's it. So from center to center, you see the Huckleberries, the lower number. That means they get the win. Rangers and Midnight Wisps will get us started in actual competition here as the Polino meanders over to the near side ever so slightly of center. Rangers' first toss, 30.28. Shout out to Anna Cameron for the Midnight Wisps. As Rangers' second marble knocks the Wisps wayward, 15-20. A hard on-the-nose hit for the Wisps that time doesn't get them any closer. But nice strategy for the O'Rangers, chipping one out for the Wisps and putting 3 of theirs right up against it, and that also backfires for the Wisps. Now they've nudged one even closer for the O'Rangers, and they continue knocking the Wisps away. This is exactly how some play bocce. They're not just trying to get closest, they're trying to knock their competitors away. That final marble should just about seal it here, unless they can throw a dagger in, and they do! Oh, but it's too close! My goodness! 10-9-8 to 11-2-9. The O'Rangers advance. This goes to show you it is not over until the last marble is rolled. Mellow Yellow gets us started with a thwack against the Polino. 35-9-2. Here comes Galactic. They're going to whiz by. Mellow Yellow also opting for that high line. Didn't work for Galactic, and it didn't work for Mellow Yellow there either. This is a much better roll for Galactic, but unfortunately they bump Mellow Yellow even closer to the target. Putting up that wall. In some ways, you almost see this as like curling in terms of strategy. You can put some marbles down in front and protect your lead and either force the other team to curl around or have to run into you and risk knocking you ever closer. Galactic trying to come with some heat, and they've had 2 marbles roll right on by. Much more measured by Mellow Yellow. Galactic going to continue that strategy. Yes, they do, creating chaos, but unfortunately, it does the opposite. 14-4-3 to a 46-5-2. That was a trouncing by Mellow Yellow. They will move on. Oceanics and the Bumblebees will be chasing this shot. Oceanics first up. Not a bad hit on that one. When you're using a steel Polino like this, you can't hit it super hard because it will ricochet you backwards, and I think the teams are starting to realize that. Oceanics get out of sorts there and knock one of their marbles to the side. And that was a dead-on roll by Bumblebees, but they're still not closest. Now they are. Nope, now they're not. It rolls right up against it. 8.81 is the closest here. They continue to reset, do the Oceanics, settling in very nicely. A team in 2nd place in the standings compared to the Bumblebees down in 13th. The Bees are yet to medal. Oh, the Oceanics, an unfortunate chip right there. Spreads 3 of their marbles out, and that opens the door on the last throw. Bumblebees get it. They sneak right in through the open door. One Oceanics mistake. And it just illustrates how fine the margins are in this particular event. You can have it. You can have 2, 3 marbles closer. You make one wrong move or your opponent makes one incredible throw, and that can change the trajectory of the medal race. Balls of Chaos. Very measured for them. Rolling right up against it and getting some help from the Blackjacks, nearly touching. They are now 9.13 for the distance compared to 30.62. Now they're bumped right up against it. Clever move there by Balls of Chaos, almost putting a guard down. Blackjacks try to move behind the Polino. If the front is sealed, they're going to try to angle one of their ricochets around back, but it did not work. Final chance for the Blackjacks. They had to throw everything they had at it, and it didn't work. They went right through the opening, and Balls of Chaos aren't even going to risk it. They roll down to the near side. They don't want to take a chance. 8-5-0 to 18. Balls of Chaos, a team down in 15th in the standings. It was only last event that they finally got off of last place. They are moving on. Snowballs, Raspberry Racers now as the Polino comes to the near side of center. Snowballs didn't quite have the speed down on that one. A team that has won a silver and a bronze. They're sitting in 7th in the standings compared to the Racers all the way up in 4th. Their only medals, they have 2 of them, they're both gold. Nobody quite figuring out the speed here. This looks better for the Snowballs. Yeah, they'll reset and almost halve their distance. But the Racers say, I'll follow your line. Can the Snowballs do the same? No, they go near side, and it bounces off the Polino and sends them over to the wall. Raspberry Racers displace, but stay closest. Last chance for the Snowballs. They take the lead, so now last chance for the Racers. And it's not enough. Snowballs at the last. 42.47 to a 65.07. Here in Heat 5, the Snowballs are moving on. Green Ducks and the Cobalts, 2 teams in the bottom half of the order. Green Ducks sitting right at the halfway point in 8th, Cobalts in 12th. Both opening throws for each team miss to the right. Green Ducks try to counter that curve with some speed and instead blow right by the Polino. Cobalts make some contact. They are closest to the tune of 101.88. Green Ducks get slightly closer, but still nobody able to pinpoint on the Polino. This is looking better on line, but not on speed. Almost identical to the first one of the Green Ducks that blew past. Cobalts are going to do the same. But considering several teams have gotten almost touching the Polino, this is not that. 101.88 is the winning score in this heat. Hey, you don't get extra if you are touching the Polino. You just have to beat the other team. Because this is a heat, this is a tournament-style format. You gotta move on, and that's the main thing. No style points yet. Speeders send out the first marble. Shout out to Caleb Hammond, team owner for the Savage Speeders as well. Not great for either team here. In fact, Limers almost go all the way to the back wall. Speeders find the Polino, but with too much speed, knocks them off to the edge. Slightly better for the Limers here. Speeders are still closest. And that's much closer. Triple digits down to double. It's 30-15. And the Limers knock them sideways. 22.56 now to a 28.52. Speeders can't respond there. Limers looking to better. Strategy, knock that closest speeder away. Savage Speeders' final chance. It's not going to happen. Limers need to play it safe here. They don't. They knock their closest marble away, but somehow manage to keep that closest distance. Whew. Team in last place in the overall standings. Just got through there, but with a scare. Team Momo and the Pinkies coming up here in Heat 8, the final heat of this 16-team competition. Momo gives first chase to the Polino. Momo gave first chase to the Polino, and Pinkies did not better it. To the back wall goes Momo that time. One bronze medal to their name. The Pinkies down in 14th. They have not medaled yet. Everybody way too long through these opening 5 marbles. Not that time. Pinkies, like a heat-seeking missile, bounce right off the nose of the Polino. 20.90 to 2.10. Pinkies still holding on. Final chance for Momo. And they miss. Pinkies just need to chuck this one whichever way they want. They do. And they will move on easily. 2090 to 223, 3-5. Here's the updated bracket. We have eliminated half the teams. We move on to the final 8. By distance, there you see, 9th on down, Momo last by a distance. Well, if you are missing the thrill of competition in between the events, then check out the Skyway Chase set. Keep that competition alive in the comfort of your house. Ready for the quarterfinals here with the O'Rangers and Mellow Yellow. Down goes the Polino. First roll. Not what they hoped for the O'Rangers. The host team still in 5th place in the overall standings. They've medaled twice. But if that first throw is anything to go by, they're going to have their work cut out for them. Mellow Yellow nestles it right by the Polino and then is bounced by the O'Rangers, who then get knocked away entirely. Right up there. Here's Mellow Yellow. Very close. Oh, crafty by the O'Rangers, knocking the end of that line, and it moves the closest Mellow Yellow away, but they are not deterred. Right up in there. Tarako tries the same thing, can't get it to work. Final shot, Mellow Yellow just needs to send it sideways. They avoid all contact and manage to hold on. 8-9-6 in a good back and forth. Second quarterfinal with the Bumblebees and the Balls of Chaos. Like I said, 13th and 15th in the standings. Neither one has medaled yet. Getting through this round puts one of them so close to finding that first medal of these games. And they will have done it in the first half as well of the 2025 Marble League. Bumblebees hold the lead, but not with a shot like that. The first one was good. Balls of Chaos trying to get that one. Very nearly tied between them. We're down to the tenths and hundredths. Trying the subtle approach there, moving around the outside. Balls of Chaos get a curl on that final roll, and they now lead. 33-11, 35-3-4. Couple of shots remaining. Balls of Chaos steering wide. Last chance for the Bumblebees. Dead down the middle, off the Polino, and not close. Balls of Chaos play this one safe, and they will move on. So near between them. The chance for a medal is still alive. Snowballs, Cobalts, and that's their target. Snowballs come first and bank it off the wall. No dead balls in this one, so if you hit that outer retaining wall, the shot still counts. This roll close to the Polino, but way too long. That one off the edge. 83-08 put the Cobalts in the lead. Snowballs need to get closer with these shots. Cobalts have been flirting with it for a while. Let's see if the Snowballs can get it dialed in. No, too long. Cobalts protecting that lead until this final shot will force them otherwise. No! Way off for the Snowballs. Cobalts can take it easy on this one. In fact, they better it. And they'll move on out of the quarterfinals. 83-68 to 116-80. One silver medal have the Cobalts. Can they add to the medal total here? Limers and the Pinkies in our final quarterfinal. And that is a very centered target. Limers go straight down the pipe. Too far. Pinkies, will they follow suit? Much better speed and closer. 129.29. Limers off the button. 19.92 on the ricochet from the Polino. Pinkies try to thread the needle, and they do. That's not quite what they wanted, though. They wanted to get closer. Limers just throwing that one wide. Pinkies try to go the opposite way, and it works. They are not closest, however. Woo, crafty there from the Limers. A double ricochet displaces the closest Pinky until that shot. Now the Limers are down to their last throw, and it doesn't go well. A bad bounce on the release from the ramp. Unless the Pinkies sabotage themselves, and they will not. The Pinkies are moving on. Again, you can have this lead. You can have the closest marble built up through multiple throws. But one roll can change everything. Our hosts get 5th. Bumblebees, Limers, and Snowballs down to 8th. Ready for the semifinal. Mellow Yellow, our 3rd place team. Balls of Chaos, 15th. Mellow Yellow will start us off. Safe. Our Balls of Chaos just going to go all out here. Well, that throw sure seems like it. 4:08 is their closest. Mellow Yellow continue to work their way nearer to that Polino. Balls of Chaos, they're going to say, all right, we tried the bottom, now let's try the top side. They are closer. Mellow Yellow setting up that defensive wall. Balls of Chaos. Charge right through. They do get closer than they were, but Mellow Yellow still holds the lead until that shot. Mistake from Mellow Yellow sends Balls of Chaos closer, 71 to 125. Mellow Yellow, final chance, and they're not going to do it. Balls of Chaos, it would be quite chaotic if they knocked their own marble out, but they're not going to do it. Balls of Chaos survive and make the final. Excellent stuff. Cobalts and the Pinkies coming up next. Who will join the 15th place team in the final? Will it be the 14th place team or the 12th? Great stuff. This is why we compete. You never know. And that's a good duel on the first throws for the Pinkies and the Cobalts. Very little between them. Cobalt's second throw, too long. Pinkies hold the lead. Their second marble knocks them closer. 32.79 now for the Pinkies. Cobalt's response, almost dead onto the Polino. 13.53. Pinkies knock them even closer. Touching the target now. Cobalts play it safe on that one. Pinkies are going to have to create some chaos. It might take a direct hit. Need a lot more speed than that on a direct hit. Cobalts throw it by with their last shot. It all comes down to the Pinkies. Last throw, and it will not do it. Cobalts advance. Single digits. And now there are two. Two that made the final, and two will head to the consolation round. The bronze medal match. Pinkies and Mellow Yellow. There's the target. Pinkies ricochet off. Also in search of their first medal. Mellow Yellow. They've won 2 of them. They're both gold. They won the last event. And they are 1 point behind second place Oceanics in the standings. That is going to change with the Oceanics early elimination. That is a nose-on hit by Mellow Yellow to get them closest until that great shot by the Pinkies. It spocked them out and knocked them to a distance. 27-6-9, now the closest for the Pinkies. Oh, they knocked themselves out. Mellow Yellow still chasing that closest marble for the Pinkies. Off the Polino again. Mellow Yellow's final shot. They had to throw it dead center to try to get close, but couldn't arrest the speed. And the Pinkies are now among the medalists. Bronze in Bocce. There are 6 teams coming into this event who have not medaled before. Balls of Chaos, one of them. They will be guaranteed a medal. Pinkies just got bronze. That's another one. Cobalts, they have that silver. But Balls of Chaos right now, trying to get in the column. But it was a great shot by the Cobalts, 21-05. Here on the 4th roll, Balls of Chaos knock him out, 15-5-8. They try for a ricochet on that one. It does increase the distance between the target ball and Balls of Chaos. But look at that. Homing in on it. That shot for the Cobalts, not there. Running out of chances. Balls of Chaos come right down the middle and hit it again. 18-11. Final throw for the Cobalts. And it's not going to work. Balls of Chaos just need to throw a safe one here. And it goes right by. You can't spell bocce without B-O-C. And Balls of Chaos have won the gold. Oh, that's adorable. On the big screen there. Thanks for being a Wyant. Balls of Chaos, their first medal. And it's the soft stuff. Take a bite and celebrate. Gold medalists in Bocce, the first time we've seen it in the Marble League. Cobalts with the silver, that is their second of these games, and the Pinkies get the bronze. That's their first medal of any color here in 2025. Disappointing for Team Momo down there in 16th. Green Ducks, who were middle of the standings, they're the highest placed team yet to medal. They're only going to get a single point out of this one. Oceanics were second place in the overall standings. They finished toward the bottom of the order. What does this do? It drops the Oceanics. Mellow Yellow go up into second place. The Wisps hold on, but only by 4. O-Rangers up 1. Cobalts up 4. Balls of Chaos up 3 along with the Bumblebees. Next up, Lasso. Already working our way deep into this Marble League. Can this already be Event 9? I think it is. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods here inside of this beautiful stadium. It looks even better from the air, by the way. Shout out to one Mr. Skylar King for taking me up in his plane so I can see this from a different vantage point. We're getting ready for the lasso toss. I know, cowboys out there, it's a lariat, it's a rope. Now, for these intents and purposes, it is the lasso toss. We're not tossing the lasso, if that makes it any better. We're actually throwing the marble teammate from it. One by one, they will go. Try to launch the runner as far up the course as possible, but you only have one opportunity to launch yourself from that rope. Now that is a good tie right there. Nice toss. In the demo, Muskmelon will be the pusher, and Cantaloupe the runner. Throw from the rope. 66-7-0. That's a pretty good distance. I'm going to make note of that as the O-Rangers, the hosts, get a nice cheer from this stadium. Tarako is launched onto the sand. 56-45. 4-0 is the opening toss. Well, Rangers fans have been great hosts, by the way, cheering on their team and welcoming all the other teams in and around the stadium. Momo is up next, and they do it better. 62-45. So Momo still not surpassing that distance from the Majestic Melons in the opening. Example, what can the Snowballs do? I know the Snowballs by name seem very out of place on the sand, and it's reflected in the distance. 54-35. The Blackjacks. Shout out to Majestic Circus. One of the Blackjacks. And they're going to need those extra rolls, and they won't get it. Back in that 55 range. It's not last, but it's only one spot above for the team that is down in 11th in the standings. On the flip side, Oceanics all the way up in 3rd. They dropped a spot after the last event, and we reached the midway point of this competition. 2 golds and a silver to their name, and they go up into provisional silver right now, but still a long way to go, 59-50. Green Ducks. How the Ducks fare on sand? Yeah, I'd say middle of the pack so far. 3rd out of 6 are the Green Ducks. Tentative bronze. They'll take it for Quacky and Goose. Mentioned it in the last video. They are the highest placed team in the championship standings who are yet to medal. If they could hold on here, it would be a huge grab for the Ducks. Savage Speeders, a disappointing 6th out of 7 so far, just 55-10. Nearly 7.5 off from the leaders. It is still Team Momo, by the way, at a 62-45. Good solid contact, but you have to keep the rollout straight once you are tossed from that loop. And a 56-50 just off the podium for Mellow Yellow. If you see the teams after the impact weaving side to side, you know they are losing distance because it's turning into sideways motion. Tentative runs at the halfway point. Momo leads Oceanics and Green Ducks. If you're a fan of where they are sitting in the standings, or you want to do a little extra to send them up the order, maybe sending some good vibes their way by wearing their team merch, check it out in the online store. Nice tip of the hat there to the cameraman. Cosmo and Pulsar line it up for Team Galactic. And that was a pretty solid impact and a straight rollout, too. And Galactic goes top, 65-75. Team Galactic take over. That one just looked like good teamwork. Limers need something in this Marble League, and I'm afraid that's not it. They are last out of everybody, 10th out of 10, and the Limers are not going anywhere fast. They are still last in the standings, some 14 points behind 15th. And oh yeah, that team 15th, that's Momo, our provisional silver medalists. Excellent for the Cobalts. Their Captain Royal tosses Gnome 61.15 and into 3rd. In the bottom half of the order, those occupying the podium positions still feel nervous, but with fewer runners to go, they're more hopeful. Bumblebees jumped 3 spots after the previous event in this Marble League, and they go into exactly middle. 6th of 12 so far, 58-10. Balls of Chaos. Winners at Bocce. and do not make 55. Balls of Chaos go 12th of 13 so far. They had jumped 3 spots into 12th. They were hoping to crack into the top 10 after this one. That's not going to happen. 5th place, Raspberry Racers. 2 golds and no other medals to their name, and that is going to be lowest of all. They don't even break 50. A stunted response from the stunned Raspberry Racer fans. Their team at a pivotal point in this championship as we begin to move down the home stretch. You cannot be having odd results like that. Pinkies go up into 9th. They have a bronze medal to their names. Yes, they, Team Galactic, and Team Momo are all ranked, along with Balls of Chaos, below Green Ducks, who don't have a medal. That's how wild this Marble League has been so far. Midnight Wisps, in the final run, go 13th. And that means nobody could dethrone Team Galactic. Shout out from our patrons. Go Ducks from the Doing Learning podcast. And it's Galactic, winners of the Lasso toss over Momo and Cobalts. This is Galactic's 3rd medal of these games. First gold, the other 2 are bronze. And even with those 2 bronze, they were sitting in 14th in the standings. Momo was in 15th, Cobalt's in 8th. What a way to be resurgent and perhaps start off the second half of the 2025 Marble League in style. We'll wait for the bean counters back in the saloon to give us our numbers, and here they are. 2 points is the gap. Mellow Yellow takes over the top spot over Midnight Wisps, who are themselves a point ahead of the Oceanics. Galactic up 7, Momo up 4. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Block pushing comes to us today. First, let's take a peek at where the proper Marble League is. 107 to 105, the hot battle up front between Mellow Yellow and Midnight Wisps. Oceanics just a point behind, then a bit of separation. But here in block pushing, it'll only be 1 run per heat. You know the drill. That red block on the left, get it as far down the course as you can using all of your marbles. Oh, Kiss Cam's back. Who are we going to find now? Get ready, everybody. Oh, homing in on the gliding glaciers. Yeah, they seem a little frigid. Oh, nope, there we go. That's better. The Rangers get us started with Oceanics, Team Galactic, and Balls of Chaos. Team Galactic tries to cruise on through, but the Oceanics say not so fast. Gonna have to get out the small measuring tape for this one, too. Look at how close that is. Oceanics and Team Galactic will move on, just a 10th between them. And Rangers and Balls of Chaos, not too bad a push either. Racers, Momo, Ducks, and Limers. Big separation between the Raspberry Racers up top. It might have gotten them into second place. Limers will win the heat. Yes, that's right. I said the Limers win the heat. They were behind here, but that persistence from the front 3 kept moving them forward. That last hit gives them the win. Cobalts, Pinkies, Snowballs, and Savage Speeders. Very slow release for the Cobalts on the top lane. But it works for them. You don't see too many teams decide to take their time when the bar goes up. In this case, maybe they needed that extra 1/10 of a second to build up that strength, because it catapulted them to a 105.2. Mellow Yellow, Bumblebees, Midnight Wisps, and the Blackjacks come out now. Another slow start, but not near what we saw. Blackjacks on the bottom lane, Bumblebees in lane 2. Disappointing for the Midnight Wisps. Did they even break 80? Did get past 70. I got to a little over 75. Blackjacks, Bumblebees, moving on. Ninth through 16th is set. Snowballs down in last. Midnight Wisps did not move on, and we now have 2 semifinals. Take us ever closer to awarding the medals. Oceanics, quick out of the gate. Raspberry Racers close beside them. Bottom lane, Bumblebees had a good push, but how about lane 3? Look at how far back they were. Now they're inching ahead. Look at the separation. Everybody is hit except for that last hammer marble of the Cobalts, 103.70. We know these teams are capable of getting past 100. Will that be what it takes to win it? Galactic, Limers, Blackjacks, and Savage Speeders. And it's Blackjacks again. This time, Limers will not be moving on. You see separation not just between their front 3 marbles after the initial push, but between the marbles and the block. Not ideal. Blackjacks hit the century mark on the dot, down to the 100th. So the Speeders move into 5th, Raspberry Racers, Oceanics, and Limers. They'll still take a top 8, I assure you, with 76.55. On to the final. It's Blackjacks, Cobalts, Bumblebees, Team Galactic. Off they come. Blackjacks very slow out of the gate. It worked for the Cobalts. Will it work for the Blackjacks? It does! Interesting strategy, and it gives the Blackjacks the gold. Cobalts get the silver, and Bumblebees the bronze. Well, Blackjacks are known for gambling, and they decided maybe let's take the risk. And this time it paid off big time for them in the form of a gold medal. Blackjacks are champions of block pushing here in Event 10 of the 2025 Marble League. Cobalts get the silver, Bumblebees the bronze. And that should help them in the standings, no doubt about it. Bumblebees down in 12th, Blackjacks in 13th. Cobalts were up in 5th. We wait for the official tabulation. After you see the points that they gained in this round, what does it do? Mellow Yellow stays atop by a single point. Wisps drop down to 3rd, Cobalts up to 4th, Blackjacks up 5 to 8th. Next up, the Corn Maze. You would be forgiven for thinking that as an Iowan, I am super, super pumped for the Corn Maze. Hey, I'm not that stereotypical, although I will say, I was just at the fair, I saw the butter cow, it was lovely. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Seriously though, this is a new event in the Marble League. How's this gonna go? We don't know. The gist of it is, it's very easy to get lost in said Corn Maze. Look at how high the walls are. You can't peek, you can't look over top to see where you're going. But the goal, of course, get to the bottom and do it before all of the other teams. Blackjacks are trending upward after the last event, but overall still at the top of the standings, as it has been for a little while. It's Mellow Yellow, at least 2 rounds or more. check out the merch. Make your own competitions with the Skyway Chase marble set. Those are some good shirts, too. You know, speaking of shirts, I actually, for the Iowa State Fair, made a shirt out of corn. Unfortunately, it was disqualified because there wasn't a category for crop tops. All right, down we go here in this opening heat. This is the Marble League proper. Medals on the line in a couple of rounds' time. And look at the log jam at that collection point. It's Balls of Chaos well off the back of the pack. The O'Rangers are leading through their own maze with a hop and a skip. I don't mean for the Jungle Jumpers. Oh, that was a great move just to get down there in the nick of time over the Green Ducks. That was head-to-head, quite literally. They will advance. Bumblebees and Savage Speeders also get by. Blackjacks, Wisps, Balls of Chaos, and Galactic, they are eliminated. Midnight Wisps, the third-place team in the championship standings right now. Galactic in 6th. Heat number 2. Just one captain in this field, 3 reserves. As they crisscross through the helices, they also come to a stop. The Oceanics had to wait. Had to feel agonizing. Oh, several marbles getting caught up back behind. The Limers were the losers in that one. Forced to the back. Ooh, several marbles making up some ground. That was a really good move by the Pinkies. Now they get shouldered aside. Snowballs get by, but they're thrown wide. They collect themselves and make it through in 2nd place behind Momo. Pinkies get 3rd, and Oceanics the final transfer spot. Oh, Limers. Mellow Yellow in 5th. Just missing out in front of Cobalts and Raspberry Racers. So the championship leaders eliminated. Oceanics, they make it. Cobalts, the 4th place team, also go no further. We're seeing the pace quicken up, and we're also seeing the strategy begin to play out. Not just as these marbles have raced it, but as they've seen the showdown take place. They know where the crucial points are on this course that can make or break your run. Here in the consolation round, we are off again, and quickly. They are getting the elbows out. It's single file throughout so much of this course, but the multiple pathways you can take allow for some ingenuity, creativity, and frankly, I'm not sure anybody is going to be catching the Midnight Wisp. Whoa! Mellow Yellow just hopped over the Wisps. If I saw that correctly, that marble almost went airborne. Midnight Wisps get the win in the consolation round over Mellow Yellow and Raspberry Racers. Cobalts are stuck on the course. Balls of Chaos finish in 15th. Limers recovered up to 13th. They didn't finish last of everybody this time. But now we await the awarding of the medals. These are the teams that made it all the way through, with a chance as we begin to enter the final few rounds of this entire Marble League to stake their claim an inch closer to a championship. Past that horn, that's where we really see how this field gets shaken up. And right now, Pinkies are down there running away with it. Savage Speeders are closing up. They follow them. They just missed the impact. They forced to go the same side as the Pinkies, which means they cannot defend and overtake. The Pinkies win gold in the corn maze. Savage Speeders get the silver, and Green Ducks quietly quack their way to bronze. Pinky Winky, 26.45, the winning time by over a second. Much love to the Marble League from Ian and Michelle, says the Jumbo board. They say, go Hazers. Pinky's up for a gold medal. That's the Pinkies' first gold medal of these games, just their second medal overall. They were down in 14th in the standings. Green Ducks, they were in 11th. That is their first medal. Remember I mentioned last round, they were the highest placed team yet to medal in these games. It's been done. Check it off. Now only the Limers are medalless. Let's take a look at the overall standings. And the Oceanics are at the top, 123 to 120 over Mellow Yellow. Midnight Wisps, who are tied for most medals of these games, in third. Savage Speeders up 5. Over a dozen times, balancing has found its way into marble competitions. Not always in the Marble League, but in this case, it makes up Event 12, the 3/4 mark of the 2025 Marble League. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. An event that also has not seen a lot of repeat winners, certainly none in the Marble League proper, although we have had some repeat winners like the Minty Maniacs that won it in 2020. You go back to the Jubilino tournament, they won it in 2018. There you see our standings. The Oceanics jumped up to the top spot of the standings after last round over Mellow Yellow, but it's only a 3-point margin and 1 medal between them. Midnight Wisps sitting a further 7 points back in third. Savage Speeders with the silver medal jumped up 5 spots into 4th. The Rangers are hosts, sitting in a solid 5th. Melons are going to give us a preview of how this goes. And there you can see it. That center line, the farther down you can hold it. Get to that catch basin, no, but does get past 120. Essentially gets a full pull there. Here are the O'Rangers. 3 off to the top side, 1 to the bottom. They won this event back in the 2022 Marble League qualifiers. Keep that in mind, 254, the top mark. Midnight Wisps got second here in the 2022 qualifiers. The Golden Wisps, if you remember them, won this in the Jubilino tournament back in 2016. 234, not going to challenge for the top spot. The Snowballs coming up next. Yet to get a gold medal over the course of these games. Did get one into that catch basin all the way down there. It was very close, but managed to drop it in. 130 compared to 120 like we saw in that opening run in the example where you miss the basin, but you do get all the way to the end. The Cobalt Possum, shout out to one of the team sponsors. Cobalt's got one holding on there, and it rides the rail of that basin, does not go in. Good enough for a 120. Total score, 245 between the 4 marbles. Losing 2 in the 20s definitely does not help. Balls of Chaos. Winners from back in Bocce. They get one dead down the middle. And that'll give them a solid 130, but look at everybody else. And they lost that one at 28, but 2 in the 50s puts them into second place, 269. Limers, desperate for a good result. They keep 3 of them on, 2 make it all the way to the end. And that will put the Limers into P1, 375 for the Limers. Bumblebees saw that done, and now they think, okay, how can we better that one? They've got 2, and they match it. Silver medalists back in the 2020 qualifiers in this very event. 360 puts them just short in second. Jeremy and Bree, Orange and Momo. Shout out to the team sponsors for Mellow Yellow, and they needed a bit more guidance down the middle of the course because they lost everybody prior to 75. 201, 8th of 8 for Mellow Yellow. are winners of this event back in 2023. Halfway through, and there you see, it will take some green numbers to get up there. Speaking of getting up there, it's a tall climb to the top of the Skyway Chase Marble Run set. And watch how the marbles handle it. All kinds of obstacles, all kinds of fun. Possibilities are endless. Check it out on the merch store online. Wait a minute. Who's that rolling down? Oh no, we've got somebody that made it onto the edge of the course. The security marbles are heading down there to try to surround him. Yeah, streaker, not what you want to see in top marble competition on a couple of fronts. And it looks like you hear some whoops and hollers from the crowd there. Others are quite shocked that that marble made it down there. All right, security has them apprehended. Everybody's so focused on the precision of balancing. It's kind of mesmerizing watching these marbles get there, but security gotta keep their eyes out. The Pinkies coming up now. Won this event in the qualifiers in 2022. They've got 2 in the basin. And what does it work out to? 358. Just 2 behind the Bumblebees for second place. Pinkies go up into third. Team Momo. 1 will hold on. Momo, 14th place in these standings, despite having 2 medals in these games so far. Well, they had a finisher, and they're still last. Oh my goodness. The crowd very nonplussed at that one. Savage Speeders, our new 4th place after the previous event. They're angling over to the top side. That just got them started at an angle from the get-go, and they weren't able to claw it back. 240. Speeders have never won this event. They did get 3rd in the qualifiers of 2020 and 2022, however. And, whoa, going right off the end of the contraption. One of the members of the Green Ducks walks that tightrope, does get credited with 120 and puts them at a 299. Good enough for 5th. 4 teams left. Raspberry Racers are one of them. 8th in the standings. They dropped. Can they get 2 here? They do. That almost seems to be a prerequisite for finishing toward the top of the order. Where do those other marbles come in? Oh, 1 at 11 is paltry. A 36 brings them to a 307. Only good enough for 5th. Blackjacks, 1 gold medal, and that's it in these games. As a result, they're down in 12th. They keep 1 marble locked on that center line, but dropped 3 of the others really early. 202, 12th of 14. Oceanics up now. Our championship leaders. 3 medals, 2 of them gold. They're going to get 1 finisher. 1 rode for quite a while, but 2 dropped off early. This is only going to be middle of the pack. 7th for the Oceanics. That means the Limers guaranteed no worse than a silver. Team Galactic, final runner, winner of this event back in 2022. They're only going to get 1 finisher. And only 5th. Team Galactic cannot dethrone the 1 team that had yet to medal. Kind message there from Jeremiah K. in the midst of all of this celebration. Why are we celebrating? Because the Limers are gold medalists. $15 clear of the Bumblebees in silver. Pinkies get the bronze. These are 3 teams that are bottom half of the order right now. And yet, last place Limers are top of the podium today. What does this do to our overall standings? The Oceanics are holding on, 11 points clear, no movement in the top 3, Bumblebees up 6, the Limers no longer in last, and everybody has a medal. The final 4 events of the 2025 Marble League begin right now with the Sand Moguls. Will it also begin the slow and steady elimination of teams that thus far have been mathematically still eligible to win the overall championship? We're about to find out. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Here are the overall standings for the Marble League proper through 12 events of the 16, and you will notice after the last event, everybody has at least 1 medal. That's what we love to see. The points spread, some 50 points on the dot between the first place Oceanics and the newly last place Balls of Chaos. All right, let's get your groove on. What are we doing out here? Texas two-step? Are we line dancing? Ah, some good moves up there on the dance cam. Building the energy before we get ready to award the medals. Some reluctant dancers in there as well. All are accepted here, whatever dance styles you want. And these marbles will be jitterbugging down this course. Rangers, Green Ducks, Limers, and Balls of Chaos are off, and contact already. Limers and Green Ducks will cross the line. The Rangers will come just short, and they will not move on. And we've reset the record. The Limers take it. 6-6-5-7 is the new mark to beat. Again, you just have to move on out of your heat. Momo, Savage Speeders, Cobalts, and the Pinkies. Cobalt's in the lead. Pinkies try to make a move. Weaving back behind are the Speeders, but they can't gain. And the top 2 will stay in that order. Over the line, 2-3 lengths between them. Cobalts and Pinkies advance. Those are 2 teams that are middle of the pack right now. Savage Speeders in 5th. Snowballs, Mellow Yellow, Bumblebees, and Midnight Wisps. Bumblebees in front. Here comes Snowballs, trying to hold off Mellow Yellow. They do. Midnight Wisps will not move on either. This is a run to the line. You can see them converging. Snowballs trying to get in front of Mellow Yellow to prevent the pass, and did by just a couple hundredths of a second. Blackjacks, Oceanics are championship leaders. Team Galactic and Raspberry Racers. Off we go, Galactic at the lead. Blackjacks, they go to the near side. They take the lead. Oceanics get by. Right at the last. Siren over Club by a 1/10 of a second. Team Galactic and the Raspberry Racers, also 2 middle-of-the-pack teams, they are done. Rangers finish best of the eliminated marbles in 9th. Savage Speeders on down to Raspberry Racers. Bit of a surprise there. Midnight Wisps finishing as low as they did. They're in 3rd in the standings. Bumblebees, Blackjacks, Pinkies, and Limers are released. Down the course they come. Blackjacks, Pinkies, make it look easy. Marbles really taking to this course. The farther into this tournament that we're getting, they're understanding the undulations better. Club and Pinky Toe move on. The Limers out along with the Bumblebees. Bumblebees in 4th in the Marble League. Green Ducks, Cobalts, Snowballs, and Oceanics in the other semifinal. Cobalts get passed by the Oceanics. They try to fight back, and they do! Oh, Oceanics made a run of it at the end. Moving from 1st almost down to 3rd, and then the bottom half of the course challenging again for the lead. They didn't need to win it. They just need to be the other blue marble that make it to the finals, and they do along with the Cobalts. Snowballs and Green Ducks are out. Snowballs, the best of the rest, from 5th down to 8th. Three of these teams will medal, one will not. Will it be Oceanics, Blackjacks, Pinkies, or Cobalts for gold in the Sand Moguls? Cobalts take the lead, Blackjacks go to the outside, and they will win gold. Cobalts take the silver, and Pinkies the bronze. And how about a Marble League record to go along with that gold medal, Blackjacks? A team in 13th in the standings, their only medal prior to this had been a gold. They add another and a good points haul, and they take home the record, too. Blackjacks win it and stand atop the podium. Congratulations. Blackjacks winners back in block pushing in event number 10. Cobalts were on the podium back then, along with the Bumblebees. Well, this time, it's the Pinkies joining them in 3rd place. Team that was in 9th in the standings. They want to jump. Blackjacks down in 13th. What will they do? Add 25? That is half of the entire distance from 1st down to last going into this event. What does it do? Oceanics stay atop. Cobalts go up into 2nd, jumping 5. Pinkies are up 4, and Blackjacks up a tremendous 7. They're into 6th. Coming up next, Collision. Life comes at you pretty quickly, and so too do the other teams rolling down that opposite ramp, heading directly for you in the event we have today. A test of strength, physicality, some strategy, and obviously your medal. This is Collision in the 2025 Marble League. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Hard to believe, no teams have been eliminated yet from the standings, and here we are in event 14 of 16. The Oceanics are up top. The Cobalts jumped a bunch. They are now up into 2nd place. How about the Blackjacks? Up 7 into 6th. 3 teams at the bottom, Momo, Limers, and Balls of Chaos. They did not move. Raspberry Racers were dropping. Snowballs also down there. Here's how Collision works. You're going to roll directly at the other team, collide in the middle, and go flying off to the side. The goal is to stay on the platform. And it's not just hitting the other team. There's also those triggered ball bearings that come rolling down or shooting across the arena that can also knock you off. You'll see a lot of different strategies with how the teams approach this event, how they line up in the blocks, or how they choose to make impact. Four different groups, 5 marbles apiece. O'Rangers and Mellow Yellow get us started, and each team loses a couple right off the bat. O'Rangers drop 2 to the bottom side. And let's see here. They're going to lose another one. Each team knotted at 2 marbles remaining apiece. Limers and Raspberry Racers. Raspberry Racers have 3 on the top of the course. Do the Limers have any? No, they do not. A couple of those were not even collisions. They just went straight through. Now, yes, that is a part of the strategy as well. Prime the teams to hit together and then just move to the side and let their own momentum carry them across the course and send them off of the platform. Both teams learned this time. Only 1 lost, 5-4. See over there on the left, that's where the Limer knocked on through. The other dominoes were dislodged by the ball bearings. Mellow Yellow and Raspberry Racers now, and Mellow Yellow lost 3 to the bottom side, and a ball bearing tries to knock another one off, but does not. Raspberry Racers keep 4 on the table, 4-2. Rangers and Racers. See the speed at which these marbles shoot off to the side once they've made that impact. They carry a lot of momentum and energy with them down onto the course. The Rangers have won this event back in 2019. The Raspberry Racers have not even podiumed in it. Mellow Yellow and the Limers now. You can see the live updates down there at the bottom. A new addition to this year's Marble League. 4-2 becomes 3-2 right at the end. That's why you don't call out the score until all marbles have settled. So in Group A, those advancing will be the Rangers and Raspberry Racers. Limers and Mellow Yellow, latter of whom is our third place team in the standings. They go no further. Momo and the Oceanics get us started here in the second group. And it will be Momo getting the head-to-head win, 4-3. 3 of Momo missed entirely, all to the bottom side. They only lost 1 of those marbles off the table. Bumblebees and Balls of Chaos now. That was a fairly square impact for a few. Early losses stabilized. We're watching a couple of the marbles rolling toward the edges, but it is called 3-2 Balls of Chaos. It's actually been a while since we've even had this event in the Marble League. As Momo and the Bumblebees get going here. Watch over there in the upper right. Nope, they're stabilizing. Bumblebees 4-3 over Momo. Got to go back to 2022, the last time we saw collision in the Marble League. Back then, it was won by Team Primary. Big gap in the wall over there on the left. One of those Oceanics is meandering that way, now straightens out. Balls of Chaos only lose 1, and they'll come away with the win, 4-3, a team that really needs a good finish. They do have that 1 gold medal, but they're last in the standings overall. Team Momo not much better, down in 14th. Side impacts there, and the ball bearings do a bit of damage. It only leaves 1 apiece on the table for Momo and Balls of Chaos. Look to the bottom side here. 2 Momos go through the same gap. Ball bearing knocks one of the Balls of Chaos up top. Also sending Momo to the side here. Oceanics and Bumblebees re-rack. Oceanics bump up against the wall, but manage to keep most of them on. Bumblebees lose 1 to the left up there. And that last roller, look at the one perched upper right. Wouldn't have mattered. 3-2, Oceanics will get the win here. Just tumbling over the side. Balls of Chaos and Momo advance. The lowest 2 in the group by current standings in the Marble League will be moving on versus the leader in the championship, the Oceanics. They're out. Snowballs, Green Ducks. Snowballs leave 1 dead in the center there, and only lose 1 each. Green Ducks, bronze medalists back in 2022. Cobalts and Midnight Wisps come down now. Midnight Wisps keep 4 on. They lose 1 up top. It keeps it even at 3. Watch that bottom marble. Nope. Safe. A tie. Cobalts never medaled in this event. Gotta go back to 2016, the last time the Cobalts were even in the Marble League. That year it was won by the Thunderbolts. Cobalts will get the win here, head-to-head against the Snowballs, however. Talking about past historical success, really team primary. One of the better ones in this one. Winners in 2022, but bronze medalists 2 years in a row beyond that. As Green Ducks and Midnight Wisps see one of the Wisps shoot off toward the 4 o'clock angle here and lose another one that broke the tie, giving the Green Ducks the win here in Group C, match number 4. Thunderbolts have also been in there, silver medalists, gold medalists a couple times. As the Wisps and Snowballs go once again. Wisps with the current lead, and it looks like that's where it's going to stay. Nobody with enough energy to knock over the dominoes. And the Midnight Wisps, who are currently sitting in 7th in the overall standings. They dropped 4 after the last event in the Sand Moguls. Ducks and the Cobalts. Oh, hard impact. Ball bearings still working their way. Cobalts get a couple of friendly bounces off the walls. And this one will also end in a tie. A couple of those Green Ducks had near misses with ball bearings. Managed to stay safe. What does it do for the overall? Cobalts advance, Green Ducks advance. Nobody won more than one match in that group. Ready for Group D, Blackjacks and Savage Speeders come out now. Speeders, gold medalists at this event back in 2020. And as everybody settles, they'll draw on the first match. Those large ball bearings, once they start circling those magnets, they are dastardly. Team Galactic, Pinkies now. Pinkies had everybody on until those ball bearings gave a bit of help. Instead, we end 4-4. As we saw in the last group, draws will not hurt you. Just depends on what everybody else does in the group. Blackjacks and Galactic now, they get their turn. Silver medalists were Galactic 3 years ago. But it's the Blackjacks get the better hand this time, 3-2 in match 3. Only one of the Blackjacks even made it past mid-court. The rest were sent backwards on the collisions. But that worked out because they did not have enough energy imparted to them to knock over the dominoes. Instead, they sent that all toward the other team. Pinkies, 4-2 over the Savage Speeders here. Pinkies, runners-up in this event back in Marble Maniacs in 2020. They lost out that year to the Shining Swarm. Blackjacks and Pinkies, down they come. Blackjacks lost one very early, but managed to keep everybody else safe. They get the win, 4-3. Pinkies lost one. Look on the top side there, straight through that wall. Speeders, Galactic. Once we get through this group format, then it becomes a tournament-style bracket. And Team Galactic also beats the Speeders 4-2. They were a lot tighter in their formation. They sent one marble strategically onto that corner ramp, losing some of the energy against that ball bearing. Blackjacks, Pinkies, move on. Reminder, the tie is broken by the points for score. You've got points for and points allowed. So the teams that were eliminated in the group stage, they sashay their way off the screen. 9th through 16th, locked in. Galactic on down through the last place Speeders. All kinds of different brackets and tournament styles that you can do with the Skyway Chase set. Send whatever teams you want in whatever style of competition you choose, all to determine a winner. Got to give a shout out for that torch still burning bright up there. Nice flame. I had a nice discussion about that torch just this morning from a marshal from Dodge City. His name was Matt, if I remember right. He's a big fan of smoke. O'Rangers, Green Ducks get us started, and O'Rangers will advance in the first of the tournament brackets over the Green Ducks, this being the quarterfinal. 2 apiece lost up top. Green Ducks found their way through the gap down on the bottom. O'Rangers just missed it, bumping against those 2 dominoes that stayed upright. Balls of Chaos, Pinkies. Balls of Chaos, silver medalist 2019. Ball bearings spread across. Couple of gaps. Trapped the Pinkies on the right there. Sent 2 of them off, but Balls of Chaos in the meantime. Looks like they did about the same thing. 2 of theirs went through the same gap, and we are locked at 3. So we go to overtime. 3 marbles remaining. Come back down. Everybody stays on for the Balls of Chaos. Pinkies lost 2 over on the bottom right. And Balls of Chaos move on. Chaos just juked to the side, and that let the Pinkies carry too much speed right through the domino wall and out. Cobalts, Raspberry Racers. Most of the Cobalts go backwards. They sent Raspberry Racers tumbling sideways and off the course, and Cobalt's strategy worked, 4-3. They will advance to the semis. No interesting formations that we've seen so far this year. Perhaps that was clarified in the rules. Everybody has to start side by side. Blackjacks and Momo. Boy, Momo had a hard collision with the ball bearing right in the middle of the course. Got airborne, but managed to keep 4 marbles of the 5 in the arena. And they will advance from the Blackjacks. Oh, it was actually already airborne because the Momo representative leapt over one of the magnets. We're down to our 4 remaining teams. 5th through 8th set, Pinkies, Racers, Green Ducks, and the Blackjacks. O'Rangers, Balls of Chaos. In semifinal 1. Solid impact sends both teams backwards pretty evenly. And that is reflected in the score, 2-2. We're going to overtime. We'll only have 2 marbles in the ramps. Got to be strategic here. They're spaced apart. What's the strategy? O'Rangers converge. And we're tied again. Differing strategies that we saw. Look at how close the O'Rangers were. Balls of Chaos tried to play it safe. Instead, one of theirs goes through an existing gap over on the right. Balls of Chaos and O'Rangers will go marble a marble. Oh, and the better brush off the wall goes to Balls of Chaos. Both marbles were sent sideways, but the O'Rangers received more force from Balls of Chaos, and as a result, had more energy peeling off toward that top side wall. Watch down here in the bottom. 2, almost 3 dominoes were nudged, but did not give. Cobalts and Momo to decide the other half of who makes it to the final. Cobalts go sideways. They're flirting with one of the openings down on the bottom, but they keep all 5 on. What a run by Cobalts. Finding safety wherever they can. Team Momo beaten by 3. O'Rangers and Team Momo will go off to the consolation round for bronze medal. Momo, O'Rangers, left and right respectively. Down they come. The lines were not even upon impact. What does this do? Momo's lost 2. O'Rangers holding 1. Watch top side. No, safe. O'Rangers, the hosts, will come away with the bronze. former gold medalists some 6 years ago get another medal in front of the home crowd. Dan Fry, shout out to one of our sponsors for the Gliding Glaciers. Thank you for keeping the Marble League going. All right, the final. It's Cobalts and Balls of Chaos, if you could believe it. Down they come. Balls of Chaos shoot to the sides. 3 of them off already. All 5 of them off. The Cobalts win their first ever gold medal. A resounding victory in collision. Marcus Brewer, our patron shout-out on the big screen before that gives way to our podium logos. Cobalts, Balls of Chaos, and the O'Rangers. Unbelievable. The whole team standing up there on the podium. This is the last team event, by the way, of this year's Marble League. And as a result, the Cobalts win the Best Captain Award. That goes out to the highest total points among the team events. What a way to double up. They win that award and the team's first ever gold medal. Balls of Chaos get the silver and O'Rangers the bronze. What a year for the Cobalts it has been getting in to the Marble League. Yes, Azure did not perform terribly well, 0 points in 2 individual events, but as a team, they now move atop the standings over the Oceanics. Pinkies and O'Rangers also in the hunt. Balls of Chaos and Limers cannot win, but they can still podium. For the 6th time in Marble League history, it's the elimination race, taking us ever closer to crowning a champion. The next round after this one, if you can believe it. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. We're on a 4-year stretch of keeping this in the Marble League. Not had a repeat winner during that time either. The gist of this one, don't be last. Keep on rolling down the course. You don't have to win every time, but each successive round that marbles are eliminated, it makes this competition just like the ranchers that live in this area out in the fields because it raises the stakes. Down this course, you will see a lot of trickeration, some obstacles, things that will spring out at you or attempt to knock you sideways. Ben Stevens, Chocolatiers, team owner shout out there as we get a demo run here with our 4 teams who all used to compete in various marble competition regionally, and they're happy to show off what they can do on this deceptively short course. The magnets and the bearings and the various things that'll be rolling out toward you. The Huckleberries get the win over Flaming Cherries. It would have been the Melons who were eliminated. But now we go into the full lineup. There's everybody that is competing. Down they come. Remember, your eyes are not so much at the front of the course where the Savage Speeders are leading, but toward the back. Don't get caught up in those ramps for the giant ball bearings. Here we go. Chaos down at the bottom. Green Ducks come across the line. It's a photo finish with the Raspberry Racers. Watch here. Ah, the Ducks did exactly what I said you don't want to do, and that's get caught up. Oh, I think the Racers might have done it. They did. The Raspberry Racers get by just barely and eliminate the captain of the Green Ducks. A team in 9th in the standings, just 1 bronze medal so far, and winners of this event back in the 2022 Marble League. Rolling on down here, Limers get the win. Rangers, did they sneak by? They did. Right now, Limers and Balls of Chaos cannot win. They can still podium in that dark marble for the Bumblebees. Out, 5th place team sees their runner Hive eliminated in run number 2. Bumblebees won this event when it was in the Jubilino tournament back in 2018, so there's a lot of experience over the various iterations of this. Coming across the line here, Blackjacks will go last. You can see them on the bottom of the course. Now they move over to the far side. Was that Cobalts that got launched upward? What happened here? Oh, they're stuck. The Blackjacks were actually nudged up onto the wall of the course, and they were out. Wasn't expecting to see many DNFs in this one. Rolling on through here, it's the Snowballs, and once again, Raspberry Racers down there battling. Those quivering ball bearings can throw the marbles backwards and change the order in a flash. And one of those impacts is what sent Snowstorm from the Snowballs backwards. Still managed to get in front of Raspberry Racers until that bit of honeycomb stopped that marble briefly. Down we come once again. And the farther into this you go, you have to start thinking about endurance. Do you have the physicality to make it through all of the obstacles repeatedly and keep up your speed and your mental fortitude, as the Oceanics will be last here in 12th. And where were they when all of this happened? Another hard collision with those large bearings that actually make their way down into the catch basin. Some of those competitors think they're safe until one of those comes rolling down and says, not quite. C is out. Run number 6. For an event that first took place back in 2016 in the Jubilino tournament. It was the Ruby Rollers back then who got the win over the Blackjacks and Minty Maniacs. On the run down here, Raspberry Racers' luck finally comes to an end. They had been in that dangerous position multiple times throughout these first 5 races, and here in round 6, it catches up to them. Resi in 11th. So Oceanics, the 2nd place team in the standings, they are out. The leaders, the Cobalts, are still in it for now. Pinkies, Rangers, Bumblebees, Blackjacks round out the top 6 in the overall standings. Several of those are out, and as I say it, sorry Cobalts, they get eliminated. So check off another top 5, top 6 team. And in this case, it's the championship leaders. Mellow Yellow feel like they're trending pretty well here. We drop through again. Mellow Yellow, bronze medalists back in 2023. Traps being set, first few are across. Mellow Yellow gets another win. Rangers got hung up briefly, but it was not enough to be caught by the Savage Speeders, who got caught on the honeycomb and then bumped up against there. The ball bearing sent them backwards on that magnet. Otherwise, they were neck and neck. 9th through 16th, bottom half of the order, they are done. We still have the top half to go. 8 places, including 3 medals. Hey, if you're a fan of obstacles and pitfalls and all kinds of different traps and contraptions, check out the Skyway Chase set because it is full of them, and you can run your favorite marble teams through that tortuous course and have a lot of fun doing it. See who wins. Ah, the kiss cam's back, especially if your team is rocking and rolling right now. You're riding the high, you're feeling good. Well, Oceanics, maybe not. They are eliminated, but let's see if we can get some anyway. Anybody takers? Anybody? No takers? Oh, there we go. All right. That'll make you feel good, fans. Across from the jail, the apothecary, the barbers, we've got this elimination race. And 8 marbles that remain, still in the hunt. Several of whom are hoping to work their way up the standings in the run for the championship. All but 2 teams can still win it coming into this event, if you can believe that. And in this case, it's close between the O'Rangers and the Pinkies. But the Pinkies, after a hard hit from one of those gold ball bearings, they are done. Pinky Panther. Same marble that got the bronze back in 2022 in this event is out and not on the podium. 7 remain. This spread is a lot closer so far. This might be a photo finish again. Limers, Galactic, they're all in there, and Galactic gets the short straw. They are out. Balls of Chaos right in there. Mellow Yellow just beaten out. Astron in 7th. A lot more space that you see up on that starting gate. It allows these marbles to choose their lines, and it's O'Rangers in last right now. Mellow Yellow's close. Who can get around these final ones? No, the O'Rangers are done. The hosts eliminated in 6th. It's been a solid run and games, frankly, for the O'Rangers. Currently sitting in 4th in the standings. They jumped up 4 after the last event, where they got a bronze medal. It's their 2nd bronze of these games. They also have a silver to go along with it. They won't add to that medal total here, but they will add points. Top 5 are on the course. Momo, Limers. Momo gets by. Limers are in last. They try to sneak by him, and they can't do it. Limers were ahead right here. They got caught right on that point of the triangle, and the door was open once again when you see those impacts, and then Momo went very wide on the top side of the course. Lemon Lime thought they had a chance. Not so. 4 remain. Momo gets the quick jump out of him. Midnight Wisps are following. Balls of Chaos. Mellow Yellow off the back. Mellow Yellow are going to have some ground to make up. And a hit from the ball bearing means it's not going to happen. Mellow Yellow eliminated. Bronze medalists in 2023. They go no further and miss the medals. 2 more races remain. 1 marble to be eliminated. In this one, will earn the bronze. Momo takes the low line. Midnight Wisp the top. They both squeeze out Balls of Chaos. Balls of Chaos shadowing. Now, Midnight Wisps lose out on the top side, and Balls of Chaos get stuck. If you are a Balls of Chaos fan, that may come as no surprise to you. This team finds new ways to do things all the time. And Disarray gets a bronze medal while sitting in the chute of one of the ball bearings in sight of the finish line. Unbelievable. It's Momo and Midnight Wisps going head-to-head now for the gold medal. Momo with the lead, past the next pinch point. They follow them on the top side, now move to the bottom. They go around the outside, and it's going to be nearly a photo finish. Midnight Wisps get the gold medal in the elimination race. In the final couple of rolls across the line. They're going the same direction here, and now they decide to go topside. Momentary hesitation for Momo, as their captain will finish 1 length back of Yvain, the reserve, and now gold medalist. So what's happening here? Emotions flaring, Balls of Chaos. They started to work their way over to the Limers, the 2 eliminated teams coming into this event who could not win. And Balls of Chaos, maybe they were, I don't want to speculate, but thankfully security right there to break things up before it got out of hand. Tempers flaring on the part of the Limers. while they see the team just ahead of them in the standings, Balls of Chaos, get their third medal of these games. But how about Midnight Wisps? Their second gold medal and their fifth overall medal of these games. The team that was in 8th in the standings, they are going to work their way up. Team Momo, they were down in 14th, just ahead of Balls of Chaos. Mellow Yellow in 7th, the Limers dead last, O'Rangers in 4th, and Team Galactic all the way down in 10th. So the leaders of the championship did not fare very well in this one. What does it do to the standings? Oh, look at this. How many are eliminated? 11th on down cannot podium. 7th through 10th cannot win. So 6 teams are still able to win the championship of the Marble League as we head to the final event, the Sand Rally. For the first time in these games, we leave the folksy comfort of the Mandarin, and we go outside for a very good reason, though. This is the Sand Rally. Hey, everybody. I'm Greg Woods. 6 teams in the hunt, all chasing the improbable Cobalts, who lead after qualifying for the first time ever. This is a one-round event, a dash to the finish. Hey, get those championship vibes coursing through you. Time for the dance cam throughout the stadium. Tension building. I'm rocking away here. Hopefully they don't show me, though. Good coordination. That moisture still remains as we get ready for the final event of the 2025 Marble League to determine a champion. As a reminder, the teams that are still in it from 6th on up: Mellow Yellow, Pinkies, O'Rangers, Midnight Wisps, Oceanics, and the Cobalts. Savage Speeders got by the Blackjacks to take the lead. There's Momo drafting on by. This was a very fast portion of the course that we saw in the showdown. Didn't have time to dry at all in between. You can also see in the scoring pylon there the updated standings for who is where. Gold, silver, and bronze. That's for the overall standings. Team Momo out in front, but look at the Cobalts right by, and they do not want to wait. They don't want to finish second here. The Cobalts are trying to bring home an improbable championship after never qualifying for the Marble League until this year. Still a long way to go in this course. Team Momo in second right now, but has lost bronze to the Midnight Wisps. And now it changes. Mellow Yellow, they take bronze as they go up into second place, ahead of Team Momo. Oceanics are also right back there, still in the hunt to try to come up on them and hold second place in the overall standings right now. Oceanics, that is true for where they are in the championship and where they could finish. You see that live silver. But how about the Cobalts at the halfway point of this course? They were in the 2016 Marble League when everybody was invited back then, but qualifiers every year since, it has not worked out for them. They have sat at home and they have watched this very event, the Sand Rally, appear in nearly every Marble League. They have studied it. They have dreamed of this moment as their lead is getting huge. A team with humble beginnings that started with 4 friends at a university studying chemistry. They have joined together, qualified this year, much like Blue Moon did after a long stretch of not qualifying. They've got a chance to win it. Mellow Yellow in second, trying to fend off Team Momo. That is worth a bronze medal to them. Look at the lead for the Cobalts, however. Heading into the final stretch. They can feel it now. 1 turn to go. It might be once in a blue moon that you see a performance like that. From perennial relegation to Marble League champions, the Cobalts have done it. At the beginning, here are some of the moves that the Cobalts made. impatient, not wanting to settle for a points game where they could win it even if they finish in this position or this position, depending on what the other teams do. No, they said, we want to win this outright. Their coach, their manager, they all said it. We don't want to leave anything to chance. This is our moment, and look at the fans. They're trying to get down into the Manda ring. They want to go celebrate with their team. They win gold, and they win a championship. Mellow Yellow gets the silver. Team Momo gets the bronze. It's Meepo, Yellow, and Mo that represent their teams. Their manager, Dodger, lets out a massive sigh of relief. Their coach, Smokey, watching as well. Their reserve just brought them a gold and a championship. This team that's been together for so long. Oh, and interesting, down there in front of the podium, we're not seeing it right now, but they're giving like a sending off ceremony. Azure has officially announced that it will end its marble sports career after these games. And after 10 years with the Cobalts, what a way to end it. Time now for the closing ceremony. Thank you all so much for watching. For Yelle's Marble Runs, I'm Greg Woods. So long, everyone.
Power.